that case, say I'm in the back or something. Yes, as soon as I'm dressed in about an hour, I should think. Of course. I can't wait to tell you about it. All right. Goodbye. Good morning.
Good morning.
What time is Mr. Essendon going to be called?
He will ring.
What time does he usually ring?
That depends on what time you went to bed.
Well, I'm afraid we were rather late last night. You see, we were at a party and Mr. Essendon very kindly said he'd drive me home. And then I found that I forgot my latchkey. And I knew I shouldn't be able to make any of the servants here because they keep at the top of the house. So then he said I could stay the night here, and I did.
If you were very late, you'll probably sleep until the afternoon.
Oh dear, couldn't you call him?
Alas, no, we can never call him.
Well, do you think I can have some coffee or orange juice or something?
I will see. Fred!
Good morning.
Good morning.
When is Mr. Essendon going to wake up?
Well, it could be any time, because he didn't leave any note.
Well, couldn't you call him? It's nearly 11 o'clock.
The whole place goes up in smoke if you waken by accident, let alone call him.
Well, do you think I can have some breakfast?
What would you fancy?
Coffee, please, and some orange juice.
Radio.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Mr. Essendon's secretary. Can I do anything for you?
Well, I'm afraid it's rather awkward. You see, Mr. Essendon drove me home from a party last night, and I idiotically forgot my latchkey. And he very sweetly said I could sit here in the spare room.
I hope you were warm enough.
Oh yes, quite, thank you.
It's liable to be a bit dippy in the spare room.
I kept the heater on.
Very sensible.
And now I was wondering if anybody can tell Mr. Essendon that I'm here.
I expect he'll remember when he wakes up.
Have you any idea when that will be?
If he didn't leave any specific time he called, he might sleep on indefinitely.
I don't want to leave without thinking of him saying goodbye.
Well, if I were you, I should have some breakfast and dress, and if he isn't awake by then, you can leave a note. Have you asked for any breakfast?
Yes, I think the man's bringing it.
Have you known Mr. Essendon long?
Well, no, not exactly. I mean, of course I've known him for ages. I think he's wonderful. But we only met last night for the first time.
I see.
I think he's even more charming off stage than on. Don't you?
I can never quite make up my mind.
Have you known him a long while?
Just on 17 years.
How wonderful. I expect you know him better than anybody.
Less intimately than some. Better than most.
Is he happy, do you think? I mean, really happy?
I don't believe I've ever asked him.
He has a sad look in his eyes every now and then.
You noticed that, did you?
We talked for hours last night. He told me all about his early struggles.
Did he by any chance mention that life was passing him by?
I think he said something like that.
Oh dear.
What?
I only wondered.
You have no idea how much I envy working for him. But then I expect everyone does. It must be absolute heaven.
Certainly not dull.
I hope you don't think it's awful with me spending the night here. I mean, it does look rather bad, doesn't it?
Well, Miss.
Stillington. Daphne Stillington.
Well, Miss Stillington, that's hardly my business, is it?
Well, no, I suppose not.
17 years is a long time, Miss Stillington. I gave up that sort of thinking in the spring of 1933.
Oh, I see.
Where will you have it, miss?
Here. No, I really think it would be more comfortable for you in the bedroom. Mr. Hugh gets very busy around 11 o'clock. He will call, the phone rings. I will let you know as soon as he's woken up.
Thank you so much.
Is there any soap in that bathroom, Fred?
Yes, but you have to go turning it until kingdom come.
Did you tell her that?
No, I figured she would find out for herself.
You better send Miss Harris in after her.
Oh, I can't do that. She's gone off to do brochures.
Fred, were you here last night?
No, she's news to me.
If he's awake by 11, we better call him.
Okay, but if the place goes up in smoke, don't blame me.
I suppose it's of no interest to anybody that I've been awakened from a deep sleep by everyone screaming like a banshees. What's going on?
I've been talking to Miss Stillington.
Who the hell is Miss Stillington?
The spare room.
I didn't ask you where she was, Monica. I asked you who she was.
I looked her up in the telephone book.
Oh, she forgot her latchkey, if you know what I mean.
Go away, Fred, and don't be impertinent.
Radio, sir.
And don't say radio.
Very good.
We met her at the performance last night, and she forgot her key. She sent us very nice spare room.
I remember now. She's a darling. I'm absolutely mad about her. What did you say her name was?
Daphne Stillington.
Ah, Daphne. I knew it was Daphne, but I had the faintest idea it was Stillington. How'd she look to you?
Restive.
Poor sweet. I hope you were nice to her. Has anyone given her anything to eat?
I think Fred took her some coffee and orange juice.
Well, what's she doing now?
I don't know, drinking it, I suppose.
It's awful, isn't it? What are we to do?
She wants to say goodbye to you and thank you.
Wonderful.
That, Gary, dear, I'm in no position to say.
Why didn't you tell her to dress quietly like a mouse and go away at first light? You know perfectly well it's agony here in the morning with everyone banging about.
You might have thought of that before you asked her to spend the night.
She had to stay the night. She'd lost her latchkey.
The sooner we turn the spare room into a library, the better.
She's probably in there now, sobbing her heart out.
Why don't you go see?
I will as soon as you lend me a comb.
Here.
Good God, I look 98.
Never mind.
I bet one day I'll be bald as a coot, and then you'll be sorry.
On the contrary, I shall be delighted. There will be fewer eager young debutantes willing to lose their latchkeys reading you've got a toupee perched on the top of your head. Mine will be a great deal simpler.
I shall never wear a toupee, Monica, no matter how bald I get. Perhaps on stage, a little front piece. But in life, never. I intend to grow old with distinction.
Won't that be a great relief to all of us?
Ah, here's your sordid little comb.
Go do a nice goodbye scene and get rid of her as soon as possible.
I haven't done my exercises.
Gone.
I can't go in the spare room. It's like an icebox in there.
The heater's on. It's been on all night.
Very extravagant.
Gary, I thought I heard your voice.
Darling!
Well, I shall be in the office if you want me, Gary.
Thank you, Monica.
Don't forget that at 1 sharp, Morris is coming to discuss what understudies are taking to Africa.
Oh, no, Monica.
And then at 12:30, you promised an appointment to Mr. Mall.
I shall remember.
I'm so glad. Goodbye, Miss Stillington. I do hope we'll meet again.
Goodbye. Gary, oh Gary.
Darling!
I'm ridiculous.
I'm so glad.
Are you?
Happy?
Yes.
There's something awfully sad about happiness.
Funny thing to say.
It wasn't meant to be funny.
I've been in love with you for such a long time.
Don't say that, Daphne.
Why? What's the matter?
Don't love me too much. No good can come of it. Really. I'm not worthy of it. I'm not.
You're more worthy of it than anybody in the whole world.
Foolish child.
I'm not a child. I'm 21.
21! If only you were older. If only I was younger.
What does age matter when people love each other?
I wonder how tragically often that has been said.
It's true.
Look at me, Daphne. Look at me clearly, kindly, and honestly. Look at the lines on my face. Look at my eyes.
You're not so very old.
I didn't say I was so very old. I merely said, look at me. As a matter of fact, I'm only just 40.
What's 40?
Too old for 21.
Do you love me?
I don't mean anything of the sort.
Do you love me?
Of course I do.
Say it.
I love you, Daphne.
Oh, Gary.
But this is goodbye.
Goodbye, but Gary.
It must be. It's inevitable. Last night, a spark was struck. A flame burned bright. That was happiness. Something to be remembered always.
You're different this morning. You don't love me. You don't mean any of the things you said last night.
Youth never understands. That's what's so absolutely awful about youth. It never, never understands.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen to me, my dearest. You're not in love with me. The real me. You're in love with an illusion that I gave to you when you saw me on the stage. Last night, I ran the risk of breaking that dear young illusion forever. But I didn't. It's still there. I can see it in your eyes. But never again! Never, never again. Moments like last night, that's all I can dare to hope for now. That's why I'm so lonely sometimes, so desperately lonely. But if I've learned one bitter lesson in my life, it is to be able to say, goodbye. Shush! we meet, not as we parted. We feel more than all may see. My bosom is heavy-hearted, and thine full of doubt for me. One moment has bound the free. Shush! That moment has gone forever, like lightning that flashed and died, like a snowflake upon the river, like a sunbeam upon the tide, which dark shadows hide. There now. That was Shelley. Don't you think it's beautiful?
Yes.
There was nothing Shelley didn't know about love. Not a thing. All the sadness, all the joy, all the unbearable pain.
Yes, but I don't see why love should be so miserable.
That's because you're young, my sweet. Young and eager and greedy for life.
Last night you said you found me and you never let me go.
That's perfectly true. I shall hold you in my heart forever. Oh, please don't cry. I can't bear it. Here, cover up.
How can you say that in a conclusion and not the real you at all?
Because it's true.
It isn't. It was the real you last night. You weren't on stage. You weren't acting.
I'm always acting. Watching myself go by. That's what's so absolutely awful about it.
I could help you if you'd only let me.
Listen, my dearest. It isn't that I don't love you. I do. But my life is not my own. I belong to my work. In 2 weeks' time, I shall be going away to Africa with a repertory of 6 plays. Do you understand what that means? The work, the drudgery, the nerve strain. When I come back, if I come back, I shall look at you and I shall know whether you have waited for me or not. Now, come here and kiss me. Once. Just once. And then go. Au revoir, my sweet. Not goodbye, just au revoir.
Where did you have your coffee, sir?
Anywhere, Fred, put it anywhere.
I would have brought it in sooner, but I heard all the weeping and wailing going on, and I thought I would wait. Oh my God.
There's no peace anywhere! Why is this infernal phone ringing in this room?
I've been here. Failing, guarding in and out of the office all the time. Hello, Mr. S&D's secretary. No, I'm afraid he's unavailable right now. Well, really, he's very busy. I think it would be better if you wrote. No, I'm afraid that's quite impossible. Very well. Not at all. Goodbye.
Fred said I was to go and speak to the young lady.
Very well, do so.
What shall I say to her?
Oh, I really don't know.
I have been to the grocer's and...
That's as good an opening gambit as any.
Just see that she has everything she wants in desserts, and then brought a bath for her.
Alas, no, that I cannot do. The chat makes no water.
Try your best.
I will try.
There's a good girl.
There's nothing much today. We'll go through it quickly.
This coffee tastes of curry powder.
Never mind.
Oh, I do wish I had a French chef instead of a Norwegian spiritualist.
Never fire Miss Erickson. She worships you.
Everyone worships me. It's nauseating.
There's hell to pay if they don't.
What's in that blue letter there?
It's from Sylvia Laurie. She must see you before you go away.
Well, she can't.
Here's the letter from that young man you forced to go to the slave school. He's very unhappy.
I didn't force him. He asked me for my advice, and I gave it to him.
Well, he says he's hedged in by obsolete conventions and his inspirations withered and died, and it's all your fault.
He's a
Rest
damn
yourself.
fool. I knew it the minute I met him.
You should have let him think that you minded so passionately about his career.
What's the matter with the light in this room? If people don't want my advice, then why the hell do they come and badger me for it?
There's a postcard I can't make head or tail of.
It's
from Brazil.
I know, it says so.
I've done what you asked, and it's nearly finished. Can't read the signature. Looks like Perkins.
Can you think of anyone named Perkins that you might have sent to Brazil to finish something?
Tear it up. People should write legibly or not at all.
All would be lovely. Is Miss Stillington nearly dressed? Yes, but she is crying, which makes her slow.
Crying?
The tap is on the blink. Better go upstairs.
Tell Fred.
Tell Fred that Mr. Essendon wants his bath, Miss Erickson. I will tell him.
Bring the rest of the letters up here.
There's only 2 more. This one from Gertrude Lovett, giving a coming out dance with that rather pimply-looking daughter of hers.
Polite refusal.
And a rather complicated letter from some Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts? To hell with them.
We are a patron of the Dramatic Club. They're giving a performance of Laughter in Heaven, and they'd like you to send them a message.
Very well. Send them one.
What shall I say?
Monica, dear, don't tell me you've arrived at the age of 89 and are yet unable to send a message. Boy Scouts, send them matches.
Hello? Hello? Oh, Hugo. Yes, he's in, but he's just gone to have his bath. I thought you weren't going into the end of the week. All right, I'll tell him. Okay. Goodbye.
Good morning, Monica, dear.
Liz, I thought you were getting in until tonight.
You know, I flew over by plane this morning, loaded with gifts. Like an Eastern princess. This one for you.
How lovely.
Few, very expensive.
Thanks ever so much, Liz. You're a darling.
Who's God up to?
In the bath?
Brought him a dressing gown.
How thoughtful. He's only got 18.
The acid, Monica? You know he loves peacocking about something new.
Well, this looks wonderful. I won't open it till I get home.
Miss Erickson was rather peculiar this morning. Is there spiritualism gotten worse?
She got in touch with her dead friend at a seance on Saturday night. All he would say was, no, 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 and Christmas Day. It upsets her very much. Yeah, it never stops. Hello? Loris. I know he's in the bath, but Liz is here if you'd like to speak with her. Here, Liz.
Hello, dear. No, by plane. Well, yes, we saw the play twice. We shall have to alter the end of it for England, but I spoke to the audience perfectly willing as long as Gary plays it. Well, no, I'm afraid I'm lunching out. But I'd be happy to swing by the office afterward if you like. All right. Goodbye. Hello, Fred. How's everything?
Bit of a lash at miss, as usual.
I think I could have a coffee. I feel a bit of a sinking.
Radio.
Bring me one, too, Fred.
Radio.
Resolute of Fred Dawn calling me Miss, isn't it?
I think he has some sort of an idea that when you gave up being Gary's wife, you automatically reverted to maidenhood.
It's a very pretty thought.
It certainly is.
Oh,
Miss Stillington, I'm so dreadfully sorry about the bath.
it didn't matter a bit.
Miss Stillington, this is Mrs. Essendine.
How do you do?
Mrs. Essendine, do you mean, are you Gary's wife?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I thought he was divorced.
You never quite got around to it.
Oh, I see.
But don't look so agitated. I haven't left 2 years ago.
Miss Stillington lost her key and spent last night in the spare room.
You poor dear. You must be absolutely congealed.
Do you think I could get a taxi?
I'll ring for
Oh,
one.
no, don't do that, Monica. My car is downstairs. I can take you wherever you'd like to go.
That's awfully kind of you.
No, the chauffeur has bright red hair. His name is Frobisher. You can't lose him.
Thank you so much. Are you sure it's not inconvenient?
Not at all. Just tell him to come straight back here after he's dropped you.
Yes, of course. I will. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. Do hope you haven't got a cold.
No, I don't think so.
I'll see you out.
Please don't trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble at all.
Where will you have it, miss?
Here's Fred.
I'll tell his names you're here. I don't think he knows.
Well, has that been going on long, or is it new?
Quite. I've had one mind so much when they leave Gary alone. It makes mornings so hectic.
He's not nearly as flamboyant as he pretends to be. He's just incapable of saying no or goodbye.
He says goodbye often now. He just manages to make it sound as if he doesn't really mean it.
Well, have a go at him. If you like, after all, it is high time he started to relax.
Do you think a big scene's necessary? We can get Hugo and Morse over and have a real rattler the night before he sails.
No, Morse is awfully hysterical these days, and Hugo hasn't been nearly as reliable since he married Joanna.
Do you like her, Joanna?
She's a lovely creature, but, tricky. Doesn't think I like her. I don't. You never would, darling. It's not your cup of tea at all.
Who is it?
Joanna.
Oh, she's not too bad. A little predatory, perhaps, but then everybody's a little predatory as far as I can see. Everybody stalks their game as far as I can see.
She'll give it up for Lent.
Good morning, darling. Where's my present?
Right here.
It's not another one of those damn glass horses, is it?
No. Dressing gown.
Just what I wanted. Oh, it really is absolutely wonderful. Oh, it really is in perfect taste. The best sort of colonial propaganda. Say something about it, Monica.
I'm speechless.
Go away then now. I have to talk to Gary before Morris gets here. Important.
Well, do hurry. Remember you have an appointment with Mr. Roland Mall.
I shall remember. Wait, who's he?
You know perfectly well. He's that young man who wrote that mad play Halfman verse and caught you on the telephone, and you were so busy being charming and unspoiled by your great success that you promised him an appointment.
Oh, I can't see him. You ought to protect me from things like that.
You must. He's come all the way from Uckfield. And anyhow, serves you right snatching the telephone away when I wasn't looking.
I've noticed a great change in you lately, Monica. I don't know whether it's because you've given up stuffing yourself with potatoes or whatever it is, but you're growing nastier with every day that passes. Go away.
I'm leaving. I'll be in the office if you want me.
Of course we'll be in the office, making awful plots and intrigues against me.
I will if I can think of any.
Shut the telephone off.
All right.
Now then, tell me about the play and everything. Did you like it?
Yes, it was wonderful. Just have to alter the ending a bit for London, but I spoke to the author and he's perfectly willing as long as you play it.
How right.
Now then, I wanted to talk to you about something.
I don't like that tone at all. What's on your mind?
Don't you think it's time that you maybe started to relax?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who's that young thing I saw wandering about in her evening gown this morning?
She lost her latchkey.
They often do.
Now, look here, Liz.
You're over 40.
Only just.
In my humble opinion, all this casual scampering about is rather undignified.
Scampering indeed. You have a genius for putting things rather unpleasantly.
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not taking moral with you. I gave that up years ago.
Yes, you are. You're sitting smug as be damned on an awful little cloud blowing down on me.
Bluster.
Who left my bed and board? Deserted me? Left me prey to everybody? Answer me that.
I did, thank God.
Well then,
Would you like me to stay?
certainly not. You drove me mad.
Then stop shilly-shallying about and pay attention.
This, to date, has been the most irritating morning of my life.
Reach a point in your life when getting straight would be becoming.
La-di-da.
No longer a debonair, irresponsible juvenile. You are an eminent man advancing with every sign of reluctance into middle age.
May God forgive you.
About that, I don't know about your irresistible fascination. We've watched it go on monotonously for 20 years.
I met you exactly 11 years ago, and you were wearing a very silly hat.
Be serious. Your behavior naturally affects all of us. Morris, Hugo, Monica, and myself. We're responsible for you. You're responsible for us. Just try not to be so devastatingly charming for a little bit. Think about how nice it'd be to be unattractive for a day or two. Why you might take to it like a duck to water.
Dear Liz, you really are very sweet.
Dear, I've been speaking Chinese.
I admit, I'm a trifle reckless every now and then, but I never do much harm to anybody.
Harm yourself.
suppose you've discussed all this with Hugo and Morris and Monica.
Not yet, but I will if I don't see some sign of improvement.
Blackmail, eh?
You know, you hate it when we all make a concerted pounce.
The thing that astonishes me most in life is people's arrogance. It's fantastic. Look at you all, whispering in corners, gossiping behind your fans, telling me what to do and what not to do. It's downright sauce. That's what it is. Look what happens when I relax my loving hold on any of you for a moment. Disaster strikes. I go away to play a 3-month season in New York. Hugo immediately catches pneumonia, goes to Biarritz to recover, meets Joanna, and marries her. I go away for a brief holiday in the south of France. And when I come back, what do I find? You and Hugo between you have bought the dullest Hungarian play ever written, and have produced it with Phoebe Lucas in the leading role. Phoebe Lucas playing the part of a glamorous courtesan with about as much sex appeal as a Finian had. How long did it run? 1 week. And that was only because the precedent was assiduous.
It's all a little aside point.
Certainly not. 20 years ago, Hugo put all his money into that lousy play, The Lost Cavalier. And who played it for 18 months to full capacity with extra matinees? I did. And who got his role as a producer in that play? Morris.
You should stop asking questions and answering them yourself. Giddy.
Where would they be without me? Where would Monica be now if I hadn't snatched her away from that sinister old aunt of hers and given her a job?
With the sinister old aunt.
And you, dear, you, one of the most depressing, melancholy actresses in the English stage. Where would you be now if I hadn't snatched you, if I hadn't forced you to give up acting and start writing?
Acting.
Good God! I even had to marry you to do it.
It's a fine gesture that turned out to be.
You adore me. You know you do.
Well, do, darling. You're so chivalrous, always rubbing it in how dependent we all are on every breath we take.
I didn't say that.
You're just as dependent on us anyhow. Stop you from buying houses every 5 minutes. You stopped you in the nick of time to play Peer Gynt.
I still maintain I should have been magnificent as Peer Gynt.
Above all, we stopped you from overacting.
You have gone too far. Yes. I really think you better go away somewhere.
I've only just returned.
Monica! Monica! Monica!
Yes?
Have you or have you not seen me overact? It's a conspiracy. I knew it.
As a matter of fact, you're overacting right now.
Very well. I see. Everybody's against me. It doesn't matter about me. Oh, no. I'm only the breadwinner. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much I'm wounded and insulted. It doesn't matter that my timorous belief in myself should be suddenly undermined.
Your belief in yourself is about as timorous as Napoleon.
And look what happened to him. Poor chap. He died forsaken and alone on a lousy little island, all surrounded in water.
Yes, islands do have that in common.
You're trying to be funny because you're ashamed. I doubt any of you would care a fig if I were exiled forever tomorrow. You'd probably be delighted. I expect that's why I'm being forced to go to Africa.
You're dying to go, and you know it. But do be careful when you're there, and don't go having affairs with everybody and showing off. Now then, about Morris, I need you to concentrate for a minute.
How can I concentrate? You say the most awful things to me, tear my heart out, and jump up and down in it, and then say calmly, "Now, Morris," as if you've been discussing the weather. What about Morris? What about him?
I'm very worried. I'm afraid you might have to do some of your famous finger wagging. It's Joanna.
Joanna.
Morris is in love with her.
How do you know?
Well, everybody's talking about it. I don't know how far it's gone or any real details, but if it's true, something ought to be done about it at once.
Does Hugo suspect anything?
No, I don't think so. Then again,
He ought never to have married that stereotyped diamond-studded siren. I always told him it was a grave mistake.
Oh, I don't think stereotyped is all that, but she is dangerous.
Oh, it's too tiresome. Really it is. It'll upset my plans for Africa.
It'll upset everything if Hugo finds out.
It might upset the whole trip. What are we to do, Liz?
Figure something out.
There's that beastly young man from Upfield, and here I am trembling like a leaf. I can't face him, I can't.
You have to promise.
My life is one long torment, and no one even remotely cares.
It might not be Morris. It might be that young. It might not even be the young man from Upfield. It might be Morris.
To hell with Morris! To hell with everybody!
Idiotic.
It isn't Morris, he isn't coming till 1 o'clock.
Listen, you have to find out how much truth there is in this Joanna business. I'll leave from 10:15 onward. Telephone me when it's gone.
How can I telephone you? I can very well discuss his love life over the phone while he's still in the room.
Well, call me up, and when I answer, say, so sorry, wrong number, and I'll know that everything's all right. But, however, if you telephone me and you say, so terribly sorry, it's the wrong number, I'll know that everything's all wrong, be around in a flash to back you up.
Intrigue. My whole existence is enmeshed in intrigue.
Got that straight? So sorry, wrong number, everything's all right. So terribly sorry, wrong number, everything's all wrong.
Yes.
And you promise you'll do it.
Yes.
I'm going now.
I'll tell you another fascinating thing about my life, if you care to hear it. Nobody in this house ever answers the doorbell in under half an hour. Miss Erickson, Fred, Monica. What is it?
There is a woman at the back door with a tiny baby.
What does she want?
I do not know. There was no time to ask her. Yes, you call.
Monica, there's a woman at the back door with a tiny baby. Go deal with her.
What does she want?
That, my dear, can be discovered by asking her. Kindly do so.
There's no need to snap at me. Mr. Moll.
How do you do?
How do you do?
This is my wife, Mr. Morrill. She just popped in for a minute, and now she's about to pop out again.
Oh, how do you do? Remember, Jerry, I will be here from 10:15 onward.
I shall remember. Have a seat. You want a drink?
No, thank you.
Cigarette?
No,
Don't you smoke?
no.
Drink? How old are you?
25? Why?
It doesn't matter. I was just wondering.
How old are you?
40 in December. Jupiter, you know, very energetic. So you've come all the way from Uckfield, have you?
It isn't very far.
Well, it sort of sounds far, doesn't it?
Sweet little thing, but hardly well.
What you want?
Her sister.
Well, we haven't got her. Have we?
She lives 2 doors down in the Mews. It was all a mistake.
Ah, my secretary, Miss Reed, Mr. Mall.
How do you do?
How do you do? I have your script in the office if you'd like me to take it away with you.
Thank you very much.
Quickly.
Yes, dear.
Have a seat. I want to talk to you about your play.
I expect you hated it.
Well, to be candid, I thought it was a little uneven.
I thought you'd say that.
I'm glad I'm running so true to form.
I mean, it really isn't the sort of thing you like, is it?
In that case, then, why on earth did you send it to me?
I just took a chance. I mean, I know you only play rather trashy stuff as a rule. I thought you might like to have a shot at something deeper.
What is there that you consider so deep in your play, Mr. Mall? Apart from the plot, which is completely submerged after the first 4 pages.
Plots aren't important. It's ideas that matter. Look at Chekhov.
I think in addition to ideas, we might conceive Chekhov a certain flimsy sense of psychology, wouldn't you?
You find plays that psychologically accurate?
It isn't very good, you know. Really, it isn't.
I think it's very good indeed.
I understand that perfectly, but I think you must admit that my opinion might be the right one, based on a lifelong experience in the theater.
The commercial theater.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I suppose you'll say that Shakespeare wrote for the commercial theater, and that the only point of doing anything at drama at all is to make money in almost old arguments. You don't realize that the theater of the future is the theater of ideas.
That may be, but currently I'm occupied with the theater of the present.
And what do you do with it? Every play you appear in is exactly the same, superficial, frivolous, without the slightest bit of intellectual significance. You have a great following and a strong personality, and all you do is prostitute yourself every night of your life. All you do with your time is wear dressing gowns and witty remarks. You could really be helping people, making them think,
about it, I'm having a most discouraging morning.
If you want to win people's memories, to go down to Boston against the court man, you'd better do something back now. There isn't a moment to be lost.
I don't give a hoot about posterity. Why should I care what people think of me when I'm as dead as a doornail anyway? My worst defect is that I'm apt to worry too much about what people think of me when I'm still alive. But I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm changing my methods. And you're my first experiment. As a rule, when insufferable young beginners have the impertinence to criticize me, I dismiss it lightly because, well, I'm embarrassed for them, and consider it not quite fair game to puncture their inflated young egos too sharply. But this time, my highbrow young friend, you're going to get it in the neck. To begin with, your play is not a play at all. It's a meaningless jumble of adolescent pseudo-intellectual poppycock. It bears no relation to life, or to the future, or to anything. And you yourself wouldn't even be here if I had been bloody fool enough to pick up the telephone when my secretary wasn't looking. Now that you are here, however, I would like to tell you this. If you wish to be a playwright, you just better leave the theater of tomorrow to take care of itself. Get a job as a butler in a repertory company, if they'll have you. Learn from the ground up how plays are constructed and what is actable and what isn't. Then sit down and write at least 20 plays, one after another, and if you can get the 21st produced for a Sunday night performance, you'll be goddamned lucky.
I had no idea you were like this. You're wonderful. I'm awfully sorry you thought I was impertinent, but I'm awfully glad too, because if I hadn't been, you would have gotten angry. If you hadn't gotten angry, I should have known what you were truly like.
You don't know in the least what I'm truly like.
Yes, I do now.
I can't see that it matters much anyway.
It matters to me.
Why?
It's rather difficult to explain, really.
What's difficult to explain?
How I feel about you.
Now, look here, young man.
No, please, let me speak. You see, in a way, I've been rather unhappy at you for quite a long time. You've been sort of an obsession with me. I saw your last play 47 times. Or at least I think I was up in town trying to pass an exam.
Did you pass it?
No, I didn't.
I can't say I'm surprised.
My father wants me to be a lawyer. That's what the exam is for. But recently, I've been studying psychology a great deal because I felt I wasn't at peace with myself. And gradually, I realized that you signified something to me.
What sort of something?
I don't quite know. Not yet.
Oh, that not yet one of the most sinister remarks I've heard.
Please don't laugh at me. I'm always sick if anyone laughs at me.
You really are a most peculiar young man.
I'm all right now, though. I feel fine.
I'm delighted.
Can I come and see you again?
No, I'm afraid not. I shall be going away to Africa.
Would you see me if I came to Africa, too?
No, I think you'd be much happier in Huckfield.
I expect you think I'm mad, but I assure you I'm not really. I just mind deeply about certain things. But I feel better now because I think I shall be able to sublimate you, all right?
Good. Now, I'm afraid that my manager is coming by and we have some business to discuss. I must turn you out now.
It's all right. I'm going immediately.
I'll get your script.
No, tear it up. You were quite right about it. It was only another part of myself. I see that now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
If ever that young man rings up again, get rid of him at all costs. He's as bad as a hammer.
Why, what did he do?
He started by insulting me and then finished by sublimating me.
You look quite shy. Have a nip of cherry.
Ah, those are the first kind words I've heard all morning.
Awesome, too.
What time is it?
21. That'll be Morris.
Hello, Monica.
Hello, Monica.
Hello.
You know, there's a strange young man sitting on your stairs.
What's he doing?
Crying.
What have you been up to, Gary? I haven't been up to anything. I merely told him what I thought of his play.
Well, I'm glad to see you haven't lost your touch.
Cherry Morris?
Thanks.
Hugo?
Well, is it the same cherry you always have?
Yes.
No, thank you.
Why? What's the matter with it?
Nothing much, it's just not very nice.
You ought never to have joined the Athenian Club. It's made you pompous. Sherry. It's disgusting. If anybody else complains about one more thing, I shall go raving mad.
This studio has been like a wailing wall all this morning.
What's wrong with the old boy, Monica? He seems remarkably grouchy.
Well, Liz was here. She went into him for a bit. And then I told him he overacted. He has had a rather beastly time of it. And then that jolly young man from Uckfield on top of everything.
Never mind. Gary, God's in his heaven and all's right with the world. I have some lovely bad news for you.
I know. I wrote that.
We have to rehearse a new leading lady.
Why?
Your attendant can't come to Africa.
Why?
She's broken her leg.
Well, really?
It isn't so terribly.
Oh, no, it couldn't matter less. 6 weeks of rehearsal, 2 plays. How did this silly bitch do it?
She took her at Victoria Station.
She'd no right to be at Victoria Station. Who can we get?
Well, Morris wants Beryl Willard, but I don't think she's quite right.
So you want Beryl Willard, do you?
Why not? She's extremely competent.
I agree with you. She's extremely competent. She has maintained her competence for well over 40 years. In addition to her competence, she has contrived, with uncanny skill, to sustain a spotless reputation for being the most paralyzing, epoch-making, monumental, world-shattering, god-awful bore that ever drew breath.
Now, really, Gary, I don't
Oh, you don't see. Very well. I shall explain just one thing further. No prayer, no bribe, no threat, no power, human or divine, would induce me to go to Africa with Beryl Willard. I would not cross the street with Beryl Willard.
What he's trying to say is that he doesn't care for Beryl Willard.
All right, she's out. Whom do you suggest?
Now, if you two are going to start one of those casting arguments, I'm going. I've got a plane to catch for Brussels anyhow.
Off to Brussels? What for?
I've had business. Nice, straightforward business. I can't wait to get there. Goodbye, sweetie.
Don't pound people.
Try to be a little more amiable when I come back. Goodbye, Morris. Oh, you might call up Joanna. She's all alone.
I have. I'm taking her to the opening at the Haymarket tomorrow night.
Oh, that's perfect. Bye, Monica.
Goodbye. If you don't want me anymore, Gary, I'll show you the office.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to write Beryl Willard and ask her to come live with you.
So, you're taking Joanna to the Haymarket tomorrow night, are you?
Yes, why?
I think I shall come too.
Oh, that'll be grand. We've got a box and there's a lot of room.
Why have you been so miserable lately?
I haven't been the least miserable.
Yes, you have. Liz has noticed it, and so have I.
Well, you're both quite wrong. I'm perfectly happy.
You like Joanna, don't you?
Of course I do. She's a
Well, I
darling.
wouldn't call her a darling exactly, but then again, I don't spend very much time with her.
I gather you do. What are you getting at?
People are talking, Morris.
About what?
About you and Joanna.
Rubbish!
It's perfectly true, and you know
I
it.
don't know anything of the sort.
Do you love her?
Love Joanna? Of course not.
Have you had an affair with her?
I'll be damned if I'm going to be cross-questioned like this.
Have you, or haven't you?
Mind your own business.
If this isn't my business, I don't know what is. Do you realize what this will mean if Hugo catches you fooling about with Joanna?
I refuse to go on with this conversation.
You can refuse until you're blue in the face. You're going to listen.
Leave me alone.
Sit down, Morris. This is serious.
I have no intention of submitting myself to another one of your famous finger-wagging tirades. I'm sick to death of them.
Very well. I'm not going to ask you one more question. I'm not even going to bellow at you. Much. But that depends on whether or not you annoy me. I am, however, going to make you see one thing clearly, and it is this. You, and Hugo, and Monica, and Liz, and I share something of inestimable importance. And that something is mutual respect and trust. God knows it's been hard won. We can look back on years and years of bitter conflict with each other and with ourselves. But now that we've all reached a middle age, we can admit with a certain mellow tranquility, and it's been well worth it. Here we are, 5 people woven closely together by work and affection and an intimate knowledge of each other.
too important to set up to risk breaking for any outside emotional reason whatsoever. Joanna is alien to us. She didn't belong to us and never really could. Hugo realizes this perfectly well. He's nobody's fool, and to do him credit, he never tried to shove her off on us. But don't, for 1 minute, believe that Joanna isn't a potential danger, because she is. She's 100% female, exceedingly attractive, and ruthlessly implacable in the pursuit of anything she wants. If she could succeed in wreaking havoc among all of us, I'm quite certain she would leave no stone unturned. She's a scalp hunter, that baby. And all I implore you is this. Be careful. You need not answer me, but be careful. Is that clear? Perfectly. I think I'll have some more sherry.
Good. Calling up the restaurant, never made a reservation.
We can always go upstairs.
Nonsense. Upstairs smells of potted shrimp. This won't take a minute.
Oh! I'm sorry, it's the wrong number.
Very pretty, sir. Very pretty indeed.
You're very dressy. Where are you going?
Tigani's.
Oh, is it a nightclub or a dance hall or what?
Bit of everything, really. Doris will be there.
Nah, what does she do?
She does a few things. She does a few musical numbers and this act, the skipping rope.
Very enjoyable.
Yes, but it gets a bit wet if you ask me.
Are you going to marry Doris?
Me, Mary? Oh, what a hope.
You really are dreadfully immoral, Fred.
That's right.
I happen to know for certain. And you've been taking advantage of poor Doris for over 2 years now.
Well, what's the problem with that? She likes it, I like it, and it's a good time had by all.
What's going to happen when you go off to Africa?
Oh, she'll be fine. She's got a couple of blokes running around for her right this second.
Oh, I see. She's communal.
Yes. Sir, will you ring in the morning as usual, or would you like me to call you?
Now ring. Has Miss Erickson gone?
Oh, yes, she left early. She had to come over about 6 o'clock and opted. She went with her friends to Hammersmith. They turned on all the lights, played the gramophone, and talked to an Indian.
A bit strange, but if she enjoys it, then I suppose it's all right.
Yes, and she's a good worker, even if she can be a bit scatty. But you can't have everything, can you?
No, Fred.
Will that be all, sir?
That'll be all. Good night, Fred. Enjoy
Good night.
yourself.
You too, and be good.
went to the play and then dinner at the Savoy afterwards. And then Morris and I dropped her home. No, I didn't go on about it anymore. I thought it best not. You sound a little skeptical. No, as a matter of fact, she's very charming, quite intelligent, and as you know, a permanent pleasure to the eye. All right. All right. Good night, darling. Joanna?
Darling, I can't tell you how relieved I am that you're in. I've done the most idiotic thing.
Why? What's that?
I've lost my latchkey.
Oh, Joanna.
It's no use looking at me like that. I'm not the most least inefficient as a rule. This is the first time I've ever done such a thing like this in my life. That was the most awful rush to dine with Frida and pay for the Toscanini concert, and I left it in my other bag.
And I suppose the servants sleep at the top of the house, do they?
They do more than sleep. They apparently go off in their coma. Been batting on their book for nearly a half hour.
Would you like a drink?
Very much indeed. I'm exhausted.
We must decide what's best to be done.
I went to a telephone booth just now and rang up Liz, but she must be out. It's the last time you replied.
You rang up Liz, and there wasn't any reply.
Yes, and I hadn't any more change. The taxman hadn't either. I came straight here.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Cigarette?
No, thank you. You're looking very whimsical. Don't you believe me?
Of course I believe you, Joanna. Why on earth shouldn't I?
I don't know. You honestly look at me, so you don't trust me an inch. It's a shame of you because I'm so nice.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
I know that voice, Gary. You've used it in every play you've ever been in.
Complete naturalness on the stage is my strong suit.
You've never liked me, really, have you?
No, not particularly.
I wonder why.
I always had a feeling you were rather tiresome.
In what way tiresome?
Oh, I don't know. There's a certain arrogance about you. A little too much self-assurance.
You don't care for competition, I see.
You're lovely looking, of course. I've always thought that.
Thank you.
If perhaps a little too aware of it.
You're being quite conventionally odious, but somehow doesn't quite ring true. Then again, you never do quite ring true, do you? I expect it's because you're an actor. They always are apt to be a bit paper mache.
Just puppets, Joanna dear. Creatures of tinsel and sawdust. How very clever of you to have noticed it.
I wish you'd stop being suave just for a minute.
What would you like me to do? Burst into a tantrum? Fly into tears?
I think I should like for you to be kind.
Kind.
Yes, at least kind enough to overcome your perfectly obvious prejudice against me.
I'm sorry, so obvious.
I know you resent me marrying Hugo. You all do, and I entirely see why. But after all, that's 5 years ago, and during that time, I've done my best not to encroach myself, not to obtrude on any special reserves. I've always been rather meager, nothing from me but artificial politeness and slightly frigid tolerance.
Poor Joanna.
I see my heel has fallen off stony ground. I'm so sorry.
What's this? What are you up to?
I'm not up to anything.
Then sit back down again.
I think I should like for you to call me a taxi.
Nonsense. There's nothing you'd hate more. You came here for a purpose, didn't you?
Yes, I lost my latchkey and you have spare room and
Well,
I want to get to know you a little better.
I see.
No, you don't. Although I can't altogether blame you. In your position as one of the world's most famous romantic comedians, it's only natural that you think that every minute is anxious to hold her head at you. I'm sure, for instance, you don't think that I have actually lost my latchkey.
You're good. My God, you're good.
What's the number of the taxi rank? I'll bring it myself.
Sloan 2664.
Hello? Hello, is this Sloan 2664? Oh, it's the wrong number. Hello? Hello? The line's engaged. What are you laughing at?
You, Joanna.
You're enjoying yourself enormously, aren't you?
Fine. Fine. You win.
Give me that telephone and don't be so infuriated.
Sit down and have another drink.
No, thank you.
Cigarette?
No, thank you.
Please. I'm sorry.
I wish you knew you were sorry.
Maybe I am.
I could
cry now, you know.
Very effectively for Ellie. Technique.
Technique's terribly important. Conversation seems to come to a bit of a standstill.
Perhaps I would like another drink. A very small one.
Good. Soup salt.
You make me feel extraordinarily self-conscious every now and then. Although that is one of your most renowned gifts, isn't it? Frightening people.
I'm not going to pretend that I frighten you.
Personality, I expect. Plus your reputation for being, well, rather ruthless.
No more, or socially.
Oh.
Well, how are we doing?
Better, I think.
That's a very pretty dress.
Thank you. I wore for Toscanini.
Tuscanini friends people too. When they play the wrong notes.
We get very young every now and then. It'd be nice to know we really like with all the trappings.
Just a simple boy, really. Stinking with idealism.
Sentimental too, almost Victorian moments.
I spend hours at my sampler.
You happy, Uncle?
Ecstatically.
You never get tired of fixing people's lives and being boss? Of everyone adoring you and obeying you?
Never. I revel in it.
I suspected, but I wasn't sure.
Shall I play you something?
No, thank you.
Why not? You must be mad.
Not mad, just musical.
Quite snappy, too. A little rude, in fact.
That was rather rude. So sorry.
Well, what shall we do now?
Is there any necessity to do anything?
I don't know. My social sense tells me something is demanded of me, and I'm not quite sure what it is.
So that I'm an adult, you must seem pretty shattering to me beyond the experience. You're so brightly on your bells tinkling.
I sound rather like a circus horse.
You are rather like a circus horse, as a matter of fact. Prancing into the ring to be admired, jumping with such assurance by your paper hoops.
You've got to make up your mind, Joanna. All this provocative skirmishing is getting me down. What do you want?
I want you to do what I really believe you are. Friendly and genuine, someone to be trusted. I want you to do me the honor of stopping your ritual performance, ringing down the curtain, taking out the makeup, and relax.
Everyone keeps telling me to relax.
One can hardly blame them.
Oh, shouldn't I be very vulnerable, dear Delilah? Short of my nice silky hair.
Why are you so afraid of being vulnerable? I think it to be tiring if you're perpetually on guard.
I was right about you from the first.
Were you?
You're predatory as hell.
Gary.
You got the wretched Hugo and his convalescent. You've made dead set at Morris, and now, by God, you're after me. Don't deny it. I can see it in your eyes. You come stalking out of the night, reeking with the lust of conquest. The whole atmosphere is quivering with it. You got your hair done this afternoon, didn't you? And your nails, and probably your feet, too. That's a new dress, isn't it? And those are new shoes. You haven't worn those stockings before in your life. And your mind, even more intimately groomed to impress than your body. You want to know what I'm really like, do you? Under all this glittering veneer? Well, this is it. Fundamentally honest. When I see you, I can tell the truth. I can see through you. I know every trick. Go away from me, Joanna. Leave me alone.
Curtain.
There, there's an indoor soda water.
Take it, neat, darling.
How dare you call me darling?
I think you are, darling. I always have. You're the reason I married Hugo.
Are there to no depths which you won't descend?
Absolutely none. I'm in love with you. I've been in love with you for over 7 years now. It's high time something's done about it.
This is the end.
No, my sweet, this is only the beginning.
Now, look here, Joanna.
I think you're going to look at me first. Got some explaining to do. I need you to listen.
I shall do no such thing.
Please, sit down. I need to speak, and I can't hear whirling about all the
I
time.
think I'd rather wander it out if you don't mind.
Please, sit down.
This is dreadful.
What I said just now, you were the reason I married Hugo, that was only partly true. I'm devoted to Hugo, much fonder he is than he is of me. Hugo's been lightly unfit of me in love at times, despite certain knowledge in the past 3 years. He's probably having a high time in old Brussels at this very moment.
You're lying, Joanna.
Not lying. I don't mind enough to lie. Hugo's a darling. I wouldn't leave him for anything in the world. You're the one I'm in love with and always have been.
What about Morris? Has there ever been anything between you two?
Morris, of course there hasn't.
Do you swear to that?
There's no need for you to swear. You can see, can't you? I would never live with you, God forbid. You drive me mad in a week. But to me, you're the most passionately attractive, enchanting man I've ever known. How could you and I have been loving each other for a little while?
Please. Can I get up now?
Of all the boys I've known and I've known
Good morning. Good morning. Would you mind telling me if Mr. Esselman is awake yet? He has not wrong. But would you mind telling me that I am awake? Alas, no. He would be crazy with anger. I shall be crazy with anger myself once we get some breakfast. I've been ringing that bell on there for hours. It does not work. Dawned on me after a while. It has been light. I eat right through the wires. They're very destructive. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, dear. You're Miss Lithia, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
What would you like to eat today?
Some China tea, some thin toast without any butter, and a soft boiled egg, please.
Radio.
And I take it was Mr. Essendine's, by the way. He always behaved like that. He was a steward on a very large ship. Well, as he was on a very large ship, perhaps he used to make a faucet in that bathroom. Perhaps no, he was in a bathroom. Is there any coffee? Yes, we have coffee. Can I have some, please? Yes, I'll tell Fred. Joanna? Monica! Joanna! Thank heaven you come to the most complicated chat with the housekeeper. Did you spend the night? Yes, I did. I lost my latchkey. You lost your latchkey? Yes, wasn't it sweet of Gary to let me? Very sweet. Monica, it seems that you resent me staying the night here. It was tactless, to say the least of it. In heaven's name, why? It was a perfectly nice thing to do in the circumstances. When is Hugo coming home? Tomorrow on the 11 o'clock plane. Is there anything else you'd like to know? You know, I don't think I would like to know anything else at all. Anyone with you actually resented me actually staying the night here. Anyway, would you mind hurrying up my coffee? I knew it. Always knew what. Could use cause trouble. I'll see about your coffee. You better go to the spare room. There's someone at the door. Fine here, thanks. As you please. Liz, how are you? This is a surprise. I tried to get you for hours last night, but you weren't in. Oh, I was in for 10 hours. You must have written the wrong number. I write the number you gave me. You must have given you. I can be in the office if you want me, Liz, but did not you mind to don't budge? Breakfast.
Where will you have it, miss?
Here, please. It would be much more comfortable in the spare room. Fine here, Liz. Thank you very much. Sit down, Fred. We'll decide later when Miss Lydia has to have her coffee.
Will that be all?
Yes, Fred. Thank you. You already decided this. It's kind of you to go through so much trouble. Suppose Gary hasn't been woken yet, has he? No, but I can go wake him up. Oh, no, don't do that. I'll sleep on a bit. Liz, you must. It's terribly unhealthy to sleep on such a lovely morning like this. He'll be getting fat and flabby before he knows it. I wish to God he would. I wonder what she put in his coffee. Something to kill her if she had any sense. Why, Monica, one always hears that the secretaries of famous men are always frustrated in dragon life. The only thing that's frustrating me at the moment is a wholesome fear of the gallows. Poor thing, she's aged a lot since I've been.
you've been unfaithful to Hugo and Morris, you need to deny it further.
It's the most abominable lie.
Fortunately, I dined quietly with Morris at the Ivy last night and became rather hysterical, as he often does. And he told me everything.
Dare you discuss me with anyone else?
I don't think that Gary would like to know that you've been Morris's mistress, as well as Hugo's wife. And I don't think Morris would like to know that you've been Gary's mistress, which I suspect you have.
What on earth are you talking about?
And I don't think Hugo would like to know anything about any of it.
Trying to blackmail me.
Yes, I am.
You mean you'd be low enough to tell Gary?
Yes, Hugo, Morris, and I'll tell everyone if you don't do as I say.
Very sure?
We out of all of us, my dear. Quite
Sure?
of course. I know Gary very well. After all, I have had every opportunity.
I suppose you're still in love with Gary yourself.
I do love him. And Morris and Hugo. We've all been terribly devoted to each other for many a year. And I'm not going to take the risk of you upsetting him, even for a moment.
Why should you think that I should mind so terribly being out with all of you as you put it?
Because, my dear, you made such a terrific effort to get in. You would have had much better results and much quicker if you hadn't been so determined to be alluring.
I've never been talked to like this in all of my life.
Be sensible and do what I ask or not.
I haven't asked me anything yet.
I should promise that you won't see Gary again until he goes to Africa.
Well, really?
You promise me that?
No, it's nonsense. I'm bound to see him again. How can I avoid it?
Be ill. Go to Paris, anywhere.
I have no intention of doing any such thing.
Very well. Fred! Fred!
It'll be you who's breaking everything up, not me.
Did you call, miss?
Don't wake Mr. Gary, will you?
Ready.
But you better go get the door first. It's Morris.
Morris, how do you know?
He told me last night he was coming to see Gary at 11.
Look here,
A
Liz.
lad, really. It'd be much more convenient.
I can't face it. It's too unbearable. Didn't you say?
Swear it. Swear it, as I say.
Yes.
Don't come out until I tell you.
There's a Mr. Mall outside.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Mall. He looks a bit wet to me.
Here. Well, better let him in. I'll let Miss Reed deal with him.
Radio.
Monica! Monica!
Yes, what is it?
Mr. Mall is here.
He has no right to be here. He is raving mad.
Mr. Mall.
How do you feel? Do you make a report, remember? Yes, quite well, just the other day.
Have you an appointment with Mr. Essendine?
Oh, yes, I spoke to him on the telephone last night. He said it was to come at 10:30.
Yes, well, I'm afraid he's very busy. Will you please come back later?
Isn't there anywhere I could wait?
Go to the office and I will see what Mr. Essendine can deal with you.
Very kind of you. Thank you very much.
Should I not let him in?
He says Mr. Gary gave him an appointment, although I hardly believe that's true. You better go wake him and ask him.
To that, let Mr. Gary sleep on a little bit more.
All right, we'll wake him later.
It's all the same to me.
Promise, you and I won't say a word to Hugo or Morris or anybody about her being here. She promises not to see Gary again before she goes to Africa.
Did she?
Yes, but Morris is going to be here in a minute. It's going to be a bit awkward. There's a telephone in the spare room, isn't there?
Yes.
Same number as this one or different?
No, it's the private line, the one using an extension of the office.
What's the number?
You know, the private wire, Sloan 2642.
There, let me deal with this.
Mr. Mall, what are you doing?
Gary, where are you going? Out. Out where? I suppose I can go out if I want to, can't I?
I thought you were asleep. You a dark horse and nothing else.
Don't be impertinent, Freddie. Go away.
Okay, so the ladies in this room and the gentlemen's in the office, if you happen to want either of them. Good day.
What lady?
What lady?
The boy's office wrong her.
Really, Gary, you're impossible. Who's in there?
I'd be very much obliged if everyone mind their own goddamn business.
For heaven's sake, get rid of her. I need to talk to you. I'm in a bad way.
Why? What's happened?
Get rid of her first, whoever she is.
How can I get rid of her? She may be in the bath.
Tell her to hurry then.
Now, look here, Morris.
If you won't, I will.
Morris, I forbid you to go near that room!
Can you please come out as soon as possible?
Gary, I make a fuss. I don't know what you mean.
Why are you so completely dressed all of a sudden? You were asleep a few minutes ago.
No, I wasn't. I most gravely doubt as to whether I shall ever be able to sleep again.
Perhaps your conscience is troubling you.
I cannot for the life of me understand why everyone is so absolutely beastly to me. To be away from the lot of you.
With exactly utterly sadness.
No sarcasm, please.
For God's sake, both of you stop bickering. I'm in the most awful way.
Why? What's happened?
Liz knows. I told her last night.
What does Liz know? What did you tell her?
Get me, Morris. Have a drink or something. Try not to be so silly.
I'm not gonna have a drink. If I have a drink, it'll make it much worse. It always does.
This is the most fascinating little conversation. But I think I should understand it just a little bit better if I had just an inkling as to what was going on.
I haven't slept for 3 nights, Gary. Not since you talked to me the other morning.
Why not?
It's bad when I get one of my obsessions. You know how awful I get in. God knows you helped me through enough of them. But this time, I made an utter fool of myself and lied to you into a bargain.
Lied to me? What do you mean?
Joanna and I love each other.
Oh. Oh, dear.
It's been going on for several months. But we made a pact that we'd lie to everyone in order to not make a mess or upset anything. But I'm not used to lying to you, Gary. It's been driving me mad. Yesterday afternoon, I told Joanna I was going to tell you. She was furious. She said she'd never speak to me again if I did and left me. And now, she's completely disappeared. I've been searching for all night. Her servants say she hasn't been home. I'm terrified something's happened to her.
Perhaps it has.
You don't like her, Liz. You never did. I'm not sure that I do really either. But I love her.
Well, so very fragrant, isn't it, Gary? Need more and Morris trying to spend the night with me.
Spend the night with you?
Yes, on my sofa. She'd lost her latchkey.